YouTube. What's going on, my friends? This is a Boucher BG-42T-G. I'll break that down. This is a dreadnought acoustic guitar with Brazilian mahogany. That's mahogany, back and sides, and the back and sides are torified. The top is a 4A grade Adirondack spruce top, which is also torified. This has medium gauge D'Addario XS strings, they're phosphor bronze, and I'm going to compare to another amazing mahogany dreadnought acoustic guitar, and that is perhaps more of a throwback to a vintage sound on some level, and it is the Martin D18 Authentic, the aged 1937 model. This has the 1 3/4 inch nut width, same as the Boucher, same strings, D'Addario XS medium gauge phosphor bronze. This has genuine mahogany back and sides with an Adirondack spruce top, which is also thermally baked. Martin calls that the VTS treatment. I think that might stand for vintage tone system. Check me if I'm wrong on that. But let's have a listen to these two guitars, the mahogany guitars back to back. And then I've got three other exceptional high-end Rosewood guitars just for some interest and comparison there. So here's the D18 aged authentic 1937. Awesome. I'm going to go back to the Boucher, since these are both the mahogany Adirondack dreads. Here's the Boucher. Quickly, I'm going to go back to the D18. All right, I'm going to give you a quick taste in a different key, the two mahogany guitars, and then we'll get to the Rosewood guitars. That's the Boucher, just some simple strumming in the key of G. Here's the Martin. All right, one more quick taste, something just a little bit different. Here's the Boucher. Had to throw in just a little misfretting there to introduce the human element, but let's roll with it. Here's the Martin. Yeah, well, it's hard for me to not comment. There's a certain, maybe even just a little more volume and loudness. Maybe a low mid and maybe a little bit more mid-range percussiveness in the Martin. Both guitars, they're exceptional. I mean, it's just a privilege to play both of them. So this is not to declare one better than the other or a winner or loser. That's certainly not the case. They're both world class. There's a lot of harmonic complexity here in the Martin. Let's listen for that harmonic complexity in the Boucher, which is there. Maybe I'm hearing some mid-range scoop. I think there's just a little bit more mid-range fullness, maybe more of a completeness from top to bottom in the Martin. These are just thoughts off the top of my head. That's what I'm hearing from behind the guitar. Don't know if that's translating in the YouTube video. All right, so those are the two Mahogany guitars. Now, let's introduce, this is a Gibson Custom Shop 1936 Advanced Jumbo. This has rosewood back and sides, East Indian rosewood back and sides, with a thermally aged red spruce top, which is another way of saying Adirondack. I believe they're kind of interchangeable in terms of Adirondack or red spruce, but I could be wrong. And this is a long scale guitar, so this is rosewood, like the two dreads that I just played. They're both 25.5 inch scale. This guitar has D'Addario excess strings, but they're 12.5 through 54 gauge strings, so just ever so slightly thinner than the medium gauge by like 0.5. All right, let me just play that same thing. that. Absolutely amazing guitar. Maybe even just a little bit more mid-range fullness that I'm getting from this guitar. I'm going to go back to the Martin, and since these are both kind of the best-in-class throwbacks to vintage models by Martin and Gibson, I think it's reasonably fair to say that. There's certainly Murphy Lab Gibsons and some others that are exceptional. But this Advanced Jumbo, without a doubt, no question, is exceptional. Let's hear the Martin, the Mahogany vintage D18 authentic aged versus the Gibson Advanced Jumbo. Well, that's fun too. My goodness, talk about embarrassment of riches. Let's have a quick listen to the Gibson Advanced Jumbo again, the 36 Custom Shop. How about if we agree there's no dog in this race? But it'll be interesting to listen back because sometimes feeling the guitar and playing it from behind the sound box is different than when I listen back to the recordings that I make. So that'll be interesting. I may very well be clipping. I apologize for that. I'm going to roll with this. Now, let's bring in one more classic. This is a Martin D42. Rosewood back and sides, Sitka spruce top. This is the 2025 refreshed model with the rolled fingerboard edges and the golden era bracing. And it's not an Adirondack top, so it may not be as loud or profound as these other instruments, but it has a classic voice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right. words sometimes fail. These guitars are just wonderful. And last but not least, this is a Boucher SG. This is a Studio Goose 52-BMV. The 52 designates that it's a Rosewood back and side dreadnought. The BMV means it has a burst top. The M means it's a master grade torrefied Adirondack top. And the V just simply means they went with the vintage squared off headstock. Let's have a listen to this guitar. Very lightweight, just a wonderful guitar. Just the lightest touch with this guitar. Tones just fly out, notes fly out the sound hole, which is something I love in guitars. I mean, it's hard to declare if you were going to rank these favorite down to least favorite. I didn't want to say best to worst because there is no worst guitar in this room. Let's play in the happy key. Let's go major. That's the Boucher Rosewood SG-52-BMV. Let's just close out by doing that major strum. Here's the Martin D42, the 2025. That's great. By the way, I'm using a Primetime 0.73 millimeter pick. And here's the Gibson Advanced Jumbo. Coming over to the Martin D18 Aged Authentic. It's interesting just playing those four guitars when I hit the Martin D18A. It stood out for me. All of them are great, but there's something that just stands out. The power, it feels louder and a little more percussive with greater projection, but none of them are bad in terms of projecting or harmonic content or sustain or the effortlessness with which you strike a string, a note, or a chord, and the sounds just come out the sound hole. Here's the Boucher BG-42T-G. This is the Mahogany Boucher Dread, all torified. Just make a couple comments. On the Boucher, every string, every note tends to live a little bit more distinctly in its own space. The chords do homogenize, they blend together nicely, but there's string to string and note to note clarity that is perhaps just a little more refined and distinct. If that's what you're looking for, that might make this the best guitar in a batch. Having played all of the others and then this guitar sounded just a little bit thinner, and I don't want to overstate that word, but there's a richness and a fullness to some of these other guitars that I feel as I play. Again, from behind the sound hole, when I listen back, I may think otherwise. But those are just some off comments. Again, the Gibson Advanced Jumbo. This guitar just has a fullness. There's perhaps more mid-range in this guitar. The lows may not be quite as deep. Words fail me. There are so many descriptions we could try to attribute. But what are you guys hearing? I know this was a long, ambitious video. I welcome your thoughts. So glad you tuned in. I hope you're doing well. Have a wonderful holiday season. It's December of 2025. And what do you like? Is there a favorite for you guys in this group? How are you hearing the guitars as different? What tonal descriptions might you attribute to any of these, if they are your favorites or even not? Please let me know. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. I probably should have said that earlier, but that does help propagate the channel to reach more listeners. So thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Happy holidays.